Welcome back, Financial Issues. I'm Dan Celia. You know, we talk every day about Christian Community Credit Union, how important it is for us to be involved with a credit union that has been around 60 years, strong stability, and a credit union that has a biblical worldview that is honoring the Lord with what they're doing. And Jeremy Brown is the Ministry Development Officer there, and he is working with churches, church ministries, other ministries like Financial Issues that are looking to expand. And one of the problems, and Jeremy, welcome. We sure appreciate you being with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
You know, one of the things that we're seeing, Jeremy, and you can probably speak to this far better than I can, but I hear every day from people, I can tell you from our standpoint here, our bank in the last 4 years has gone through maybe, I don't know, you guys have your mic on there in the control room. I've gone through 4 different buyouts of the banks, 4. And it's brutal. So you go, you lose your relationships. I mean, it's terrible. And most banks, if I'm right about this, you can tell me, really don't understand the whole underwriting a church or, well, it's a church. They're not really a business. They can't pay us back. Tell us about what is happening in that world right now as churches are losing the same relationships, with their banks.
Absolutely. It's funny you say it that way, Dan, because the credit union was founded on that concept. The credit union was started, like you said, 60 years ago by a small group of American Baptist pastors who were going to their banks and seeking loans for themselves, auto loans, mortgage loans, things like that. And they were being turned away 60 years ago saying, hey, you know what, I know you have people in your church today, but I just don't know if you're going to have people in your church tomorrow, and I'm not sure if I feel comfortable lending you money based upon what I don't understand. And here we are today. We get calls every day at Christian Community Credit Union from churches and ministries who have said, I've had a relationship with my local bank out here for many, many years, and this is the first time I've asked them for a line of credit or the first time I've asked them for a loan to purchase a building, and they said that they can't help me, that we don't do church loans, that we don't understand how to do church loans. And I say, that's great, because that's what we've made our business about. That's exactly what we do. Welcome to the credit union. And so we're busy receiving those phone calls and taking care of those churches and ministries that do have lending needs and making sure that they know that they have a place that they can turn to for expansion or, building purposes, whatever it may be.
And you guys, you treat those loans the same in the sense that you're holding those loans? You're not selling them off to one of the big banks?
We're a direct lender. We don't sell them off. We hold the right to participate some of our large loans, but I can tell you right now, the credit union has plenty of money, and we're just waiting for churches to come along that are looking to borrow money for any reason. So,
and that's a huge thing, because I know that by the time a pastor or a church committee gets through with what they need for a bank, because not only don't they understand, the banks I'm talking about, they don't want to understand. It's just not, they don't even, they usually go kicking and screaming if they do make a loan. They really don't want to do it. And this is what, and I'm talking, I guess, to all our listeners, this is what you guys do. I mean, this is your specialty. And so many churches right now, by the grace of God, and we're so excited about it, we are seeing expanding and growing. And it's such a blessing to see that. And here's an opportunity in a place where they can feel very, very comfortable that Christian Community Credit Union is going to understand what their needs are and understand how to finance that.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, and we're seeing the same things that you're talking about, Dan. You know what? I've been at the credit union for 19 years. I've been on the lending side for the last 11 or 12, and so having gone through, the recession 2008 and 2009, it was kind of getting to be a regular thing for me to, hey, send me your financials, and I would take a look, and I expected a lot of times to see, a declining revenue for churches because the economy was hit so hard and people were being laid off and losing their jobs, and it is a very different world today. A lot of the financials that come in show churches that are doing very, very well. Revenue is up, tithes and offerings are up. People are understanding and seeing the benefit of tithing to their churches and seeing what God does in their lives as a result of it. And it is a good time to be a church, I think. It's a good time to be a church in America, and we're excited about kind of what's going on and excited about helping these people out when they need it.
So you guys do for churches and ministries that are church-based Christian ministries. You do other things. You give, so line of credit obviously would be one thing, mortgage and lines of credits. But some of the other things, obviously, they're checking and savings and those kinds of things. But how about ministry kinds of credit cards and that they might need just on a monthly basis to handle certain needs?
Absolutely. Yeah, we are a full-service financial institution. We do everything that a bank does, but we do it from a different model. The model that we do differently is that we don't have shareholders. And this is my opinion, but there's absolutely fact behind it. You know what? Like, banking is no longer a service industry.
No.
Banking is almost a money grab at this point. When your primary goal is keeping your shareholders happy, you got to ask, okay, well, where do the customers fit into that, and where does taking care of the customers really fit into that model? And so, Christian Community Credit Union is a not-for-profit financial cooperative, which means we have no shareholders. Any profits that we earn are reinvested back into the credit union in the form of lower rates on loans and higher rates on deposit accounts, and in my opinion, better service.
Yeah.
And as a result of that, you know what? We do everything that a bank does: checking, savings, money market accounts, loans, lines of credits, credit cards, and everything like that. But the goal at the end of the day isn't let's keep our shareholders happy by making the stock rise. Our goal at the end of the day is to take care of these people, our Christian community, if you will. Make sure that the services that we're providing are exactly what they need, and keeping money in the kingdom. That's kind of our tagline: is giving people the peace of mind of knowing that their money is being used for good purposes. That every dollar that flows through Christian Community Credit Union is being used for kingdom building purposes, and we're excited about it.
So there's a church listening right now somewhere, I'm sure, that is saying, "Okay, so what hoops do I have to jump through to be a member?" Because as a credit union, you got to be a member, and maybe my my denomination, or what do I have to do? It's probably not even likely that I can even be a member. What would you say to that?
I would say that. I'd say it's probably a pretty good chance if you're listening to this station and you are an evangelical Christian ministry, you're probably in. There's two ways that a church gets in the door. Is number one, they do belong to a specific religious denomination, and we have a list of, I want to say hundreds of eligible Christian denominations that right off the bat, if you tell me you're a Calvary Chapel or an Assembly of God or an American Baptist Church, like, okay, right off the bat, you're already in. A lot of our churches are non-denominational churches, and what we do when they knock on that door is we say, hey, why don't you just send me a copy of your statement of faith or your statement of beliefs, and I'll match it up with ours and make sure that our beliefs match up with one another, and we can make them eligible that way. So very rarely do we turn away an evangelical Christian church as far as eligibility or field of membership is concerned. Yeah,
so I would just say to all those churches, and that's what I was getting at. Look, you can. You're going to qualify. You're going to be okay to be a member, and you're gonna love the idea of doing your banking from a biblical perspective too. I mean, it is amazing, and I'm so excited here at the ministry. We've been 7 years. Somebody told me, one of my producers said it's been 7 years since we tried to come alongside a credit union or banking relationship. And 7 years ago, was when we first started, and we worked on it for 3 years, and it never happened because I had to let it go because they weren't what they said they were going to be. And then we gave it up, and a year later we tried it again and didn't work out with a kind of Christian credit union. And we're so excited, and we hear every day. I hear every day people thanking me for a Christian Community Credit Union, and it is a blessing, and I know it will be to all those ministries and churches. And one of the things that people get hung up on, real quick, Jeremy, and a church might feel this way: well, what are we going to do? We don't have a Christian Community Credit Union building, within driving distance, so we can go make our Sunday deposits. What would you tell them?
Oh yeah, great question. So. We only have 2 branches. We're based out of California, but we serve churches all over the country. Banking as an industry has certainly gotten easier. We use the remote deposit capture service, the ability to scan and electronically deposit checks from the convenience of your office, has made banking very, very easy for churches across the country from us. The only caveat to it is that we ask them to keep a local cash account. You can scan and electronically send all of your checks to me from the convenience of your your office. This software will total up your checks for you. You don't even have to run your own tapes or add them up. It actually reads the numbers off of there, gives you a total of your deposit, sends it right through. You keep the checks as a record, and you shred them 60 days later. But you just need a place to continue to deposit your cash. And so we have a lot of churches that are just doing cash deposits now at their local banks, and then, once a month or whatever it is, they may write a check out of that account and include it in their check scan, the week later or something like that. And so on top of that, we have a full team of ministry development officers that are there to receive and serve these ministries with whatever their needs are. They don't call into our call center trying to find somebody to talk to. They know who their representatives are. I've got a list of 150 churches under me that whenever there's an issue, they call me or one of my counterparts, and our job is to take care of these people and make sure that they're happy.
Yeah, wouldn't that be great, folks, to have a real person that you can call and do your solve your problems and keep things going for you. And it's an incredible, we're so excited about our partnership. We're excited about the growth in all of this for you guys as you continue to do great work for the kingdom. So we are so grateful. Folks, if you're a church and if you're thinking about your plans in the future, maybe you just want to make your banking easier, how would you like to sit in your office and scan those checks? I mean, just little things like that to keep you focused on what's important, and that's sharing the gospel of Jesus Christ. Jeremy, we appreciate you so much. Thank you for being on the program, and we hope you'll come back. Give us any updates, and we'll keep working hard.
Absolutely, my friend. Thank you, guys. God bless you guys.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
Great stuff. Christian Community Credit Union, folks. You can go to the website and find out. If you want to call them, I'll give you their phone number as soon as we get back.